Hello friends, welcome back. Our next topic is structure and union. Structure is actually a data type. Before we start learning structure, we will revise data types that we have studied so far. There are three categories of data types: fundamental data types, derived data types, user defined data types. In fundamental data types, we have character, integer, and float. Limitation of fundamental data type is that a variable of fundamental type can store only one value at a time. In real time, we need to handle huge amount of data. If we use many separate variables of fundamental type to handle such values, then program becomes very complicated. Solution to this is derived types like arrays, strings, and pointers. Array is collection of multiple values of same data type. But again, array has one main limitation here. It can store values of same type only. That means in array of 10 integers, suppose we have declared an array of 10 integers, then we can store only integer values, 10 integer values in this array. We cannot store 2 characters, 4 integers and 4 float values like that. But if we consider real time data that we usually handle in programming, we found that real data is bundle or mixture of many values of different types. To implement such data, we need user defined data types such as structure and union. Let us understand this by considering examples. Real time data can be student, employee, account, product, medicine, book, etc. If you look at examples here on screen, can you tell me any fundamental or derived data type which will help us to create variable for such data? Answer is no, because these data items are bundle of many values of different types. We can call them properties or attributes. Let me demonstrate. For example, student is collection of many properties such as roll number, name, marks, and many more. I have considered only 3 properties here, but we can take many properties like age, gender, city, mobile number, email ID, etc. If you look at the data that we are going to handle for a student, then you can see the roll number is of integer type, name is a string, and marks, if we talk about float or percentage marks, then it is float. That means in order to handle information of single student, we need to store 3 different kind of variables. Similarly, for other data objects, we can consider some properties. For example, for employee, we will consider employee ID, name, salary. In case of account, we can take account number, name, balance. In case of any product, we can take code, title, cost. In case of medicine, we can take make, that is manufacturing company, title or name of the medicine, and cost. In case of book, we can take title, author, and cost. Now let us move ahead by taking student as example of the study. If we need to handle data for 3 students, we will need 3 integers for roll numbers, 3 strings for names, and 3 floats for marks. One such variation for each property. If we increase the property, we will need duplicate copies of that properties for every student. Such memory allocation will look like this. This is roll number 1, roll number 2, roll number 3, 3 integers, name 1, name 2, name 3, 3 strings, marks 1, marks 2, marks 3, 3 floats. But this is a scattered data. Implementing logic in program will be very tough. Best case is possible if we could club these 3 attributes of a student, a single student, together in a single variable like this. In this case, this is student 1, student 2, student 3, and here we have bundled all the 3 properties together in a single variable. But the question is how we can bundle these 3 properties in a single variable to store 3 data items of different types. Solution is structure. We will study syntax of structure in our next video. Stay tuned. Goodbye.